Sean Diddy Combs trial, defense plans controversial. Strategy as closing arguments looming a legal case that has captured national headlines and sparked heated debate. Sean Diddy Combs, once a towering figure in music and businesses, now at the center of a federal sex trafficking trial, facing serious felony charges and a potential fall from grace that continues to unfold in dramatic fashion. The 55-year-old music mogul has been charged with 5 federal crimes, including sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, transportation to engage in prostitution, and racketeering conspiracy. Prosecutors allege that Combs used his immense influence and business empire to manipulate and exploit women, often concealing his actions behind a facade of wealth and celebrity. Although he has admitted to past domestic violence, Combs has pleaded not guilty to all charges related to trafficking and racketeering. As the trial nears its end, sources close to the defense team are revealing a controversial closing argument strategy. According to a report by TMZ, Combs' legal team may attempt to draw parallels between his case and the ongoing conflict between Iran and Israel, and the U.S. military's recent involvement in the region. Insiders suggest that Combs' attorneys plan to argue that federal authorities, particularly Homeland Security Investigations (HSI), should have prioritized national security threats over what the defense characterizes as a misdirected investigation into Combs' personal life. One source bluntly summarized the defense's position to TMZ: rather than worrying about what Diddy is doing with baby oil and lube, she should worry more about the escalating conflict with Iran. This reference follows reports that former President Donald Trump authorized strikes on Iranian military sites in response to rising tensions in the Middle East. It's a move the defense reportedly sees as a way to discredit federal involvement in the case and to suggest that the investigation stemmed from boredom rather than credible evidence. Despite the bombshell strategy, Combs will not take the stand in his own defense, and his legal team has opted not to call any witnesses, signaling a confidence that the prosecution has failed to meet its burden of proof. They argue that the accusations of coercion and trafficking made by key witnesses, including Combs' ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura and another woman testifying under the pseudonym Jane, have not been sufficiently proven to be known. Ventura and Jane testified that Combs forced them into degrading and traumatic sexual experiences, often involving physical violence, blackmail, and manipulation of their finances or careers. However, the defense is expected to counter those claims by presenting testimony from male escorts, asserting that these individuals were paid for their time and discretion, not for sex. These men were allegedly involved in what have been described as Combs' infamous drug-fueled, baby oil-coated freak-offs alongside Ventura and Jane. The defense is reportedly framing these events as consensual adult encounters, not crimes. On Monday, jurors were shown sexually explicit messages between Combs and Jane, as well as communications involving his staff and male escorts, as the prosecution wrapped its final witness testimony. These messages are intended to support the prosecution's narrative that Combs coordinated and controlled a long-standing trafficking operation involving threats, manipulation, and abuse. Combs was arrested in September 2024, following a federal investigation that alleges he ran this illicit network from 2004 to 2024. The government contends that the rapper used his celebrity status, drugs, money, and power to silence victims and maintain control. The jury is expected to reach a verdict before July 4th, setting the stage for a landmark decision in a case that blends celebrity culture, abuse of power, and systemic accountability. As the defense prepares its final arguments, the mention of global conflict, especially one as charged as the Iran-Israel crisis, marks a startling twist in what has already been a highly complex trial. Whether this tactic will sway jurors or backfire remains to be seen. But what's clear is that the outcome of this case will not only determine Diddy's fat tit, may also send a resounding message about justice, power, and who is held accountable in America's elite circles.